Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy again, John, the Date Dr. Clark, and I got 5 things that I want to give for my couples, for those that are in relationships, for those that are seeking relationships, most important for those that are in a marriage. 5 things that's going to protect your relationship. 5 things that are going to help protect your marriage. And first things first, y'all. When was the last time you prayed for your partner? When was the last time you prayed with your partner? I'll give you a second. Now that you've thought about that, was it because there was an issue that was taking place? Were you all feuding? Were you all having a disagreement? Was there things that were going on? Yes or no? I mean, at the end of the day, majority of us can therefore say yes. But there's nothing wrong with praying with each other. There's nothing wrong with praying for each other in the event that there's a significant issue taking place. Not even going to downplay that because there's nothing wrong for the prayer. I'm just thankful to hear that you all are indeed praying. But when was the last time that you all prayed for each other, prayed with each other because there was not an issue? When was the last time that you all were deciding to pray because you were giving thanks? When was the last time you wanted to pray for your partner in general for strength, for the ability to learn and apply? When was the last time you were just kind of able to pray for them because you wanted them to prosper? When was the last time you decided to pray for them because you wanted us to build? Something to think about. Now, I'm not chastising you all for choosing only to pray because there are issues, but I want to challenge you all. I want to invite you all to do something different, to pray different. Now, not to pray against what you were previously doing because there was an issue, but I invite you all to pray because things are going well. I invite you all to challenge yourself to pray more for your significant other. Pray for those good days. Pray for strength. Pray that you all are able to communicate a heck of a lot better. In general, pray with each other. Pray together. That's the first thing. The next thing, when's the last time you gave each other praise? When's the last time that you all gave each other a compliment? Now, I don't mean the confusion of praising each other or being able to worship each other, but I mean, when was the last time you said something nice to each other? When was the last time you gave your wife, gave your husband, gave your man, gave your woman a compliment? When was the last time you gave each other praise? When was the last time you gave each other a shout out? How often are you guys doing it? Quick question. When was the last time? And of course, if you can't think of the last time, or if you do it consistently, there's nothing wrong at this time. But this is the time that you shine, where you start to do better. This is the time where you make those efforts to give them praise. You never know what your partner's going through. You never know what type of day she had. You never know what type of day he had. But what better person to receive that level of a compliment? What better person, what better time frame to receive praise, to receive love from you, their significant other, the person that they spend the majority of their time with, that person that they call their man, that person that they call their woman, the person that decided to get down on one knee to become engaged or proposed to. What better time, what better person to give them praise, to give them compliments, to tell them how well they're doing today, to tell them how well they look, just to tell them. So for starters, y'all, let's pray. Let's give each other a little bit of praise. The next thing I want to add to you all's table, how about we start doing more in our relationship? How about we start going out a little bit more? And I don't mean going out just going to a typical restaurant. I don't mean going out just to go into a typical bar. How about we go out and just do more in general? How about we be more creative in the household? How about we step outside of the household? How about we have picnics? How about we plan dates? How about we have the candlelight dinner? How about we do something different? How about we expand our horizon in our relationship? How about we expand our horizons inside of our marriage? Overall, ladies and gentlemen, I'm challenging you, I'm asking you, I'm inviting you all to do more in your relationship. I'm asking you all to spend that quality time. I'm asking you all to decipher the difference in spending quality time with your partner versus spending quantity time. I'm going to rewind that one. I'm challenging you all / inviting you all to spend more quality time with your better half versus spending quantity time with your better half. Now, what's the difference? Quantity time is that conversation where you all are feuding and debating on and back and forth about, well, I spent time with you on Monday. Dang, isn't that enough? That's when you're keeping track. That's when you're keeping time. Y'all, those things don't work. Are you guilty of doing that? I'll wait. And if you are, try something different. Let's stop that. You don't want to be counted upon. It's not a good feeling. There's no quality in it. But when was the last time you spent some time with your significant other without counting? When was the last time? If you can't think of it, or if you can, let's just do better. And if you're already doing well, do even better. Why not? First three things: pray for each other, give each other praise, do more for each other, spend some quality time, learn the difference between quality time versus quantity time. I guarantee you it will decrease the likelihood of all that feuding that you all are having. Try something different than what you're already doing. If you're not doing anything, or if you haven't done anything for your significant other in months, outside of holidays, outside of birthdays, outside of anniversaries, try something different. Those other things become cliche. And we're only doing those other things because sometimes we see other folks are doing it, or we see that it's mandated, or we're seeing that it might be a requirement, or we see that social media is saying it's okay to do it. How about you do it because you know it's the right thing to do outside of holidays, outside of birthdays? Spend some time with each other. Another thing, y'all, add more trust into your relationship. It's a beautiful feeling knowing when your partner can kind of be out there, having fun with his or her friends and having a great time, knowing that they're not giving you reason to believe that they can't be trusted. It's an even more beautiful time knowing if you're the person at the house and your partner's out, socializing, that you're not there worrying, that you're not, being given reason to believe that, your partner can't be trusted. And the way you go about doing those things is you don't give your partner reason to believe that they can't be trusted. You're making sure you're reassuring them. Now, a lot of times we frown upon the term reassuring because we think it's confusion of babying that person, or we feel as though that you're just telling them, hey, I'm not cheating, I'm not doing these things. No, it doesn't have to be that way. There's nothing wrong with checking in. There's nothing wrong with telling your partner, hey, babe, we'll probably be out for a little bit. We'll probably be back a little bit later. If I'm running behind, I'll let you know. There's nothing disrespectful about that. There's nothing weak about that. That's all communication. It's all respect that you have for your significant other. It has nothing to do with giving permission. Many folks choose not to check in. Many folks choose not to have that level of trust. Many folks choose not to have that level of respect because pride, our ego, is telling us that it sounds like we need to check in as a child to a parent. It sounds like we have to ask or request permission from our partners as though we're a supervisor or as though that we're a significant other. Well, let me rephrase it. Some folks feel as though that we shouldn't have to check in or we shouldn't have to ask for it because it feels like it's a level of asking for permission, as though that they were a parent, as though they were a supervisor. That's not the case. You have to retrain your mind to realize that it's not asking for permission. It's just stating that you respect your wife or you respect your man or respect your husband or your girlfriend enough to check in and let them know what's up. It doesn't have to be that typical conversation on, hey, babe, is it okay if I do this? No, it can be, hey, babe, me and the fellas probably going to go out here. Everything good at the house. You need anything? Nothing wrong with that. And it's not necessarily that you're telling them what you're going to do. It's just a common courtesy, common respect. You make sure there's nothing else that needs to be done. Everything good at the house. Your house is in order. And you go out and do your thing, and you're very respectful. You're not out there doing inappropriate things. But, those are some of the things that I teach my couples on how to do in regards to trust. Now, if you got issues that you're dealing with, and say if you're giving your significant other reason to believe that you can't be trusted, then it's best that you work on trust. It's best that you seek counsel because, without trust, it's going to be very difficult to be able to move forward. And so those are some of the basic things. Now, there's one last thing I want to give to you all is make sure you have communication in your relationship. Make sure you're comfortable talking with each other. Make sure you're comfortable talking with your significant other about personal things. Make sure you're comfortable with them in general. What do I mean comfortable? Being able to be yourself, being able to tell the truth, being able to spend quality time with your partner, being able to talk with them without being dishonest, being able to talk with them without manipulation, being able to talk with this person without sugarcoating, being able to talk with this person because you want to talk with them. Being able to ask for space, being able to take breaks when there's things, when we're not agreeing on or seeing eye to eye. Being able to know the difference between communication versus confrontation. I'm going to say it again. Being able to know the difference between communication versus confrontation. When people are communicating, they're trying to get to some type of resolution. When people are communicating, they're trying to get along. When people are communicating, they're trying to listen. When people are communicating, they're trying to understand. When people are communicating, they're trying to be entertained by what that person on the receiving end is saying or supporting end is giving off. But when a person is having a confrontation, they're waiting for that person to be quiet so they can speak. When a person's having a confrontation, they're waiting to provide a rebuttal. When a person's having a confrontation, they're ready to say something that's going to be belittling. When they're ready to have a confrontation, they're ready to strike back. When they're having a confrontation, they're ready to hit you where it hurts. Y'all, that's the difference in having a communication versus a confrontation. The intent is different beyond both measures. And it's time that we know the difference. So again, as a recap, y'all, let's make sure, that we're protecting our relationship, protecting our marriage by praying for each other, not being afraid to give praise, not being afraid to trust that person, not being afraid to communicate. But, most importantly, not being afraid to do things in this relationship, do things in your marriage, y'all. Sometimes things get old, sometimes we get bored. So why not add spice? Why not do what it takes, y'all? So again, this is your boy, John the Date Dr. Clark. And I just wanted to give you all 5 things that's going to help protect your relationship, y'all. That's all I got for you now. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Look me up on YouTube. Hit the red button to subscribe. My name up there is The Date Doctor. So THE space DATEDOCTA. Subscribe. Feel free to share this video. Feel free to look me up on my latest podcast. I'm on about 4 or 5 different platforms. Just go to your typical Android or Apple app and look up podcasts and look up The Date Doctor. You'll be able to see my face. More like I'll probably have a hat on. Or a lot of times you'll see me like a picture where I'm sitting in like one of my private practice chairs. But other than that, appreciate you all tuning in. Feel free to share the video. Feel free to spread the word. But most importantly, protect your relationship. Protect your marriage. Y'all be safe out there. Have a good one.